Hi, thank you so much for investing this time in finding out your Enneagram type. I'm Krista Harden, and I'm the founder and CEO of Enneagram and Marriage. And I'm really glad you're here. This is awesome. Now, I know you might be struggling to find your personality type, and so I want to just help you walk through the quick guide I've created for you to find that very thing. So, I'm just going to walk this through a bit more conversationally for you so you can really allow yourself to center in on what type really seems to be the one for you. And I also just want to take a moment to say that it's okay if you find yourself feeling like a little bit more than one type fits you. In fact, if you want to picture all nine types on a pie chart, that's probably a more accurate way to assess personality anyway. What you're doing here, however, is you're allowing yourself to see that, yes, I may have a slice of each of the different nine types, but one of them does stand out more. And it's also affecting my relationships. So that's the great part of the Enneagram is you're not just exploring what type you are, you're using the information to help improve your relationship and even getting down to the nitty-gritty. And you'll maybe use some other personality inventories to help you practically as well. But what I love the Enneagram for is that it helps us to dive nice and deep to find out, hey, what's underneath all of what we're showing up as in our couples relationships and even in all of our relationships. So the first question I ask is how you love. And if you're a type one, you're really interested in improving the world and you're seeing every detail and you're noticing what's wrong and flaws and you're just wired that way and you care about fairness and justice. If you're a two, you're loving with helpfulness and giving and generosity. And that's your primary style of emoting. If you're a three, you love to achieve, you love to perform, you love extravagance, and you love making sure you're close to the culture and the needs of what's going on around you. If you're a four and you love creativity and artistry, this is your typical, most forward way of responding. You're going to notice that you really like to be unique and special, and you know you are, but you also want to be loved and seen for who you are in that differentness. You don't want people to feel like they can only love you if you fit in with the group. You want to be known on a deep level. Now, if you're a five, you also love the depths, but you come at it less from the first heart angle and more from the space of thinking and analyzing, and you love to investigate. And we often call fives the researcher for that reason. Sometimes fives can just be like a fly on the wall, observing everything and making their own deductions and staying at a safe distance, but loving from that space and even loving in a more introverted way. Now, if you're a six, you love with loyalty, with troubleshooting. You like to stay near your people, befriend them. And you hear me say planning as well, because sixes really love their plans and even helping their partner to make plans. Now, if you're a seven, you love with enthusiasm and joy. And everybody knows that you bring light into the room when you come in. And they also know that you have a vivacity, usually an extroversion, and that you move a lot. You're a kinetic learner. If you're an eight, you love with passion and protecting and defending others, and you have really a lot more energy than a lot of other people around you usually. And you use that hopefully for care and for good. Now, if you're a nine, you love with peace and with thoughtfulness for others. You really like for everybody to be seen and heard. And just as our ones and eights, you care deeply about justice and protecting, but from your own space of thoughtfulness. So now that you've heard these nine types enunciated a little differently than just reading about them, or maybe you're walking through the guide as you listen to me, I want you to understand that it's okay, just as I said, for you to resonate with more than one type. As you get to know the Enneagram better, you'll even learn more about wings and arrows and why that sometimes you even find yourself really similar to these other types, especially the types right around you on either side of the diagram. Now, the next thing we walk through is what does safety mean to you per type? So I ask this because as humans, we really need and want to feel safe. And we all want love, but we also all want safety. And so if you're a one, when things are orderly, you feel safer. When you feel things are good, you feel safer. When you're a two, you feel like if I'm giving, okay, I feel safe. I'm giving, I will get loved, and I'll be safe. If I'm a three, then whatever needs to be done, I want to achieve it perfectly and I'll be safe and I'll be loved. If I'm a 4, then I need to make sure my uniqueness helps me to be loved and stand out, that somebody who really knows me will care about me, even however unique I am. Now, a 5 wants to know things. They want to know, and for them, that equals safety. For a 6, being prepared equals safety, making sure the plans are straight. For a 7, they love not only joy, but this freedom that they need to be themselves. That equals safety for a 7. For an 8, having a sense of power and entitlement that no one is going to dominate me. That equals safety. And for a 9, peace, harmony equals safety. So, whichever of those stands out, we're starting to identify your type more and more. So, if you notice any similarities between the first 2 lists we talked about, we have 2 more lists to go through. And I hope you'll start finding which type stands out just a little bit more. Now, a core fear of each type is what we're going to talk about next. If you're a 1, the core fear that most ones carry is, oh my gosh, I have to do good. If I do not do good, then it means I'm bad and wrong. And I can't admit that. That's why sometimes ones have a hard time asking for forgiveness or saying sorry, because it's hard to feel like if I'm not good, then I must be bad. And that's not tolerable. Now, if I'm a 2, if I'm not serving or being served for some 2s, but most 2s, if I'm not serving, then I'm not worthy and I have a rejection wound that comes out. If I'm a 3 and I feel like I'm not gloriously achieving, sometimes there's a deep fear that I'm not worthy and that I'm nothing. If I'm a 4 and I'm focused in on how do I rank with others and how am I loved compared to others, and I want to be unique and special, if I'm not, then I feel like I'm despised and not special if I'm just like everybody else, or I don't feel like you love me. So they want to really make sure like I'm different and you still love me. Now, 5s feel like if I'm not competent, I feel like a loser. I feel overwhelmed and that I might even lose my life. It might not be a loser in the sense of feeling lowly, but even sometimes that feeling of like, I don't feel safe. Now, for a 6, again, if I'm not prepared, I'm going to lose my security, and that is not a good feeling. If I'm a 7, if I'm not free, I'm going to be overwhelmed and I'm the one carrying it all. So I'm going to be in unbearable pain if I can't get that freedom. And I need that freedom because emotions are tough and pain is tough. Now, if I'm an 8, if I'm vulnerable, then I really feel bad. I feel like I'm not safe. And I feel like that's my biggest fear. I'll be overtaken, completely defeated. Nobody wants that. And if I'm a 9, if I don't keep the peace, I'm going to lose my relationships and I could disappear or they could disappear. So I better hold that peace. And as you can see, as we're getting to know these types more, sometimes these are false beliefs, but these are the types of automatic negative thoughts that usually pass into the minds of each person of these types. Now, the 4th step is going deeper, and I have a few ways you can do that. I'll be brief. I'll let you know that you can go to my deeper dive guide on your type if you've already figured out your type. But another way you can do that is you can go through my course, my 5-lesson Enneagram and Marriage course. It has all you need to learn about each of the types and how they work in marriage together. If you take this with a spouse or partner, I also walk you through how you guys can grow and glow together, because I believe when you truly find out the best ways to love each other and how to help each other through your deepest fears and ways of feeling safe together, then you guys can thrive and you can shine your own beautiful light together in a new way. So I'm not just aiming for you to feel happy together, I'm also aiming for you to give out in the world, because I know that when humans get self-care, we do feel better. But I know when we give to others, research says we feel even better. So this course will help you to get to know yourself, get to know each other, and then find the best ways you can shine in the world together. So I look forward to seeing you there. I hope you'll join me there. You can find it on my website, and that's our 5-module course. You can also always deep dive with me in our masterclass, where we have 12 lessons and you get to become a coach or a mastermind with the Enneagram in Marriage. And I'm just so glad you're here. I hope you'll check out these wonderful ways for you to keep growing, and also check out my books and your pairing guides and all the rest we have for you in addition to our podcast at enneagramandmarriage.com. Thank you so much for joining me here. Bye-bye.